Okay, so remember last time we were discussing the what each kamma could produce, remember? Akusala kamma, what can it produce? And then kusala kamma, kamavachara, rupavachara, arupavachara, right? What they can produce, right? So now today we have to cover according to Pugala. So these are results. Results according to Pugala. Okay? So let's review the Pugalas. We had, remember, Dugati Ahetuka Pugala. Pugala. What is the next? Sugati Ahetuka Pugala. Then we have Dvihetuka. No need to say Sugati, right? Dvihetuka Pugala. We have Tihetuka Pugala. Then under Tihetuka Pugala we have 8 Arya Pugalas. That here actually doesn't matter that much, right? So we can just think of Tihetuka Pugala in general, right? Okay. So now I want you to know this. I made a very brief. I made it like a very brief summary. So if you remember this, you know everything. Look. Results according to Pugala. These are the Pugalas. Now here are the limitations of each Pugala. Limitations of each Pugala. Okay? Limitations of each Pugala. Dugati Ahetuka Pugala. No Mahavipakas. Okay? Just remember that. No Mahavipakas. These two Pugalas, they have no Jnana Sampayutta Mahavipakas. No Jnana Sampayutta Mahavipakas. 4 chittas, right? Tihetuka Pugala has no limitations. Okay? If you know this, it's enough. This whole chapter. Literally. Yeah. But now let's do it in detail, but this is the principle, okay? So, for example, Akusala Kammas, Akusala Kamma, for example. Let's go. Now we have to go through the Kamma, no? Akusala Kamma. Akusala Kamma. So what does Akusala Kamma produce normally? During Patisandhi, it can produce the Upeka Santirana, right? And Kamajarupa. In Apaya, no? In Apaya. Then in Pavati, it will produce 7 Akusala Vipaka Chittas, right? And sometimes also Kamajarupa, right? Only in Apaya. This is it. This is what this Kamma can produce, right? Now let's apply this to Pugala. Okay? Look, the Dugati Ahetuka Pugala has no Mahavipakas. This Kamma doesn't produce Mahavipaka. No difference. There's no difference. Do you see? So for Dugati Ahetuka Pugala, it's the same. It's the same. It's the same, you see? The same. What is the same? Patisandhi, Upeka Santirana, and Kamajarupa. And then Pavati will be 7 Akusala Vipaka, Kamajarupa. You see? No difference. Now, Sugati Ahetuka. Sugati Ahetuka Pugala. What is the limitation of Sugati Ahetuka Pugala? No Jnana Sampayuttas. Okay? This is what you have to memorize. Limitations of each Pugala. Okay? Remember, these limitations are only with regard two vipaka. Okay? Vipakas. Only vipakas. We're talking about vipaka here. Vipaka of kamas. Okay? So now, Sugatya Hetuka Pugala, his limitation is that he has no Jnana Sampayuta Mahavipaka. Okay? These two Pugalas. So, this Kamma, Akusala Kamma, doesn't produce that. Doesn't produce Mahavipaka. So, it makes no difference. Again. So, it makes no difference means it's also the same. What does it mean? During Patisandhi, there is nothing. And during Pavati, you will have what? 7 akusala vipakas. No kamajarupa, of course. Right? Also have to think about that. Each kama produces its Patisandhi Bhavanga Chuti and kamajarupa in each realm. Okay? So, and those limitations. So, these two informations you need. Okay? So, Sugatya Hetuka Pugala is the same. Nothing changes. There is no limitation. Now, Dugatya Hetuka Pugala. Let's do Dugatya Hetuka Pugala. Sorry, Sugati. This was Sugati? Now, Dvihetuka Pugala, no? Dvihetuka Pugala. What is the difference? What is the limitation of Dvihetuka Pugala? Dvihetuka Pugala has no Jnana Sampayuta Mahavipakas. Right? No Jnana Sampayuta Mahavipakas. So, Akusala Kamma, here we are considering Akusala Kamma, it produces, it's the same. It won't make any difference. Patisandhi, nothing. Pavati, 7 Akusala Vipakas. Finished. Okay? Right? Now, Tihetuka Pugala. Tihetuka Pugala. What are the limitations of Tihetuka Pugala? No limitations. In terms of Vipaka. There's no limitations. So, it will also here be the same with regard to Akusala Kammas. During Patisandhi, nothing happens. Pavati, what can Akusala Kamma produce? 7 Akusala Vipakas. No Kamajarupas. Okay, finished. This is Akusala Kamma, Vipaka of Akusala Kamma according to Pugala. Now, we have Kusala Kamma, right? Kusala Kamma. And then we divide it in 3. So now we're going to talk about Kamavachara. Kamavachara Kusala Kamma. This one has differences. So remember, what are the Kamavachara Kusala Kammas? Yes, we have Omaka, Dvihetuka, Ukata, Dvihetuka, Omaka Tihetuka, and Ukata Tihetuka. Right? These are the Kamavachara Kusala Kammas. Those 8 Mahakusala Chittas. Right? Now, let's apply that. Okay, let's think what is the normal result. Normal result of this. What can this Kamma produce? During Patisandhi, it can produce. It depends on the Kamma, right? Yes, so here we have to take them individually. Omaka Dihetuka Ukata. Okay, I have to do one by one, wait. Omaka Dihetuka. Omaka Dvihetuka Kamma. Okay, this is not Pugala. Kamma. Omaka Dvihetuka Kamma. What does it normally produce? In Patisandhi, it can produce, yes, the Upeka Santirana, the Kusala Vipaka, Upeka Santirana, and Kamajarupa. Okay, this is the Patisandhi. In which realm? Yes, in the Kama Sugati. Especially in the human realm and lower Chatmaharajika. Okay, during Pavati, what does it produce? Omaka Dvihetuka Kamma. 8 Kusala Vipaka Ahetuka Chittas. Right? What else? 8 kusala vipaka hetukas and kamajarupa. Kamajarupa. This is what this kamma can produce. Now, this is the normal. Okay? Now, according to Pugala, this is the normal. This is now according to Pugala. Dugati ahetuka Pugala. What are the limitations of Dugati ahetuka Pugala? What are the limitations of Dugati ahetuka Pugala? No mahavipaka. No mahavipaka. Dugati ahetuka Pugala doesn't have mahavipaka. Okay? Okay? You're thinking of the Patisandhi? No. Now we're thinking about Kusala Kamma. Results of Kusala Kamma. So the Patisandhi of this Pugala is result of Akusala Kamma, right? So limitation of Dugata Hetuka Pugala. Okay, we have no Mahavipaka. Does this Kamma produce Mahavipaka? No. No difference. You see? So in the Patisandhi, what is the Patisandhi? Dugati? Nothing. Pavati? What can this Kamma produce for this Pugala in Pavati? Can it produce 8 Kusala Vipaka Hetuka? Yes. 8 Kusala Vipaka Ahetuka, yes. When they see some good objects, right? For example. Kamajarupa? No. Finished. This is it. Okay? Now, Sugati Ahetuka Pugala. What are the limitations of this Pugala? No Jnana Sampayuta Mahavipakas. So, this Kamma doesn't produce, you see? Doesn't produce these chittas. It will be the same. Patisandhi, can it produce Patisandhi? Yes. Here, Upeka Santirana, the Kusala Vipaka Upeka Santirana, and it can also produce Kamajarupa, right? What about Pavati? 8 Kusala Vipaka Ahetuka Chittas and Kamajarupas. Only for this Pugala, right? Okay, good. Now, next Pugala is Dvihetuka Pugala. What are the limitations? No Jnana Sampayuta Mahavipaka. Yes, remember, this is what you have to really remember. So, in Patisandhi, what can that particular Kamma produce? Nothing. For a Dvihetuka Pugala. No. During Pavati, 8 Kusala Vipaka Hetuka Chittas, no Kamajarupa. Finished, you see? Correct? Following? Sankicha disappeared? Okay. Next one, Tihetuka Pugala. Tihetuka Pugala. What are the limitations? No limitations of Tihetuka Pugala. He can have all these Vipakas. So, Patisandhi, nothing for this Kamma. Pavati, 8 Kusala Vipaka Ahetuka. No Kamajarupa. Okay? Now, we go to Ukata Dvihetuka Kamma. Oma Ukata Dvihetuka Kamma. Okay, what is the normal result? Normal result of this Kamma. During Patisandhi, it produces Ukata Dvihetuka, produces the Dvihetuka Patisandhi, right? These are Jnana Vipayuta Mahavipakas, right? And Kamajarupa also produces Kamajarupa. Okay, where does it produce this? In the Kama Bhumi. Kama Bhumi, okay, in the Kama Bhumi. Any kamma bhumi, you can have dvihetukas, right? And in Pavati, what does this kamma produce? 8 kusala vipaka hetukas. It can also produce 4 jnana vipayuta mahavipakas and kamajarupas. Okay, now let's apply it to the pugalas. According to pugala. According to pugala. Dugati ahetuka pugala. What are the limitations? Limitations. No mahavipaka. I'll repeat it so that it stays in your mind, okay? Dugati ahetuka pugala cannot have mahavipaka. So what will be his results? This kamma for this pugala. Patisandhi, nothing. Pavati, what can he have? 8 kusala vipaka hetuka he can have. Kusala vipaka ahetuka. Can he have this? Jnana vipayuta mahavipaka? No. Can he have kamajarupa? No. Finished. Okay? Now, sugati. Ahetuka pugala. What are the limitations? No jnana sampayuta mahavipaka. Yes. Okay? So, in Patisandhi, no Patisandhi. In Pavati, you have 8 kusala vipaka hetukas. Can he have this? Yes. 4 jnana vipayuta mahavipakas and no kamajarupas. Finished. You see? If you know this is enough, you can find the rest. Then you have dvihetuka pugala. Dvihetuka pugala. What are the limitations? Limitation, no jnana sampayuta mahavipaka. Yes, dvihetuka pugala. So this kamma will produce what patisandhi? Here, dvihetuka pugala, we have a dvihetuka patisandhi, right? You have the dvihetuka patisandhi, which is the 4 jnana vipayuta mahavipakas. Okay, can produce that, and it can produce kamajarupa. Don't forget. And then in Pavati, what can this kamma produce? 8, it could be a hetuka. 8 kusala vipaka hetuka, or ahetuka kusala vipaka. And 4 jnana vipayuta, you see, he can have 4 jnana vipayuta mahavipaka and kamaja rupa. Okay. Now tihetuka pugala. Sorry? 8 ahetuka. I put over there. Kusala vipaka hetuka. Okay? All pugalas can have this. No? So tihetuka pugala. Tihetuka pugala. What are the limitations of tihetuka pugala? No limitation in terms of vipaka, okay? Now, so patisandhi, nothing. This kamma doesn't produce. Pavati, what does this kamma produce? Always 8 kusala vipaka hetuka, or ahetuka kusala vipaka ahetuka. Can it produce jnana vipayuta? Yes. Jnana vipayuta mahavipaka. Can it produce kamajarupa? No. Okay. So this was ukata dvihetuka kamma, right? Now, omaka tihetuka kamma. Okay, omaka tihetuka kamma. What does this kamma normally produce? Normal result. What is the normal result of this kamma? In Patisandhi, it can produce Dvihetuka Patisandhi. This is the 4 Jnana Vipayuta Mahavipakas. This is the Patisandhi produced by this kamma. And it can produce Kamajarupa. Kamajarupa. Now in Pavati, what can this kamma produce? Always 8 Ahetuka Kusala Vipakas or Kusala Vipaka Hetukas. It can produce 4 Jnana Vipayutta Mahavipakas and Kamajarupas. Yes. This one sometimes I have some doubt about this. Is it correct? I think the only one that can produce the all Mahavipakas is the Tihetuka Ukata, right? Let me make sure. Let me confirm. I sent all the document. Maybe you can follow it if you want. Yes. Only the Ukatati Hetuka can produce all 8 Mahavipakas, okay? Yes, yes. It's okay. So, 8 Ahetuka Kusala Vipaka, 4 Jnana Vipayuta Mahavipakas and Kamajarupa. This is the normal result of this kamma. Now, according to Pugala, okay? Remember the limitations of each Pugala. This is what you have to remember. Limitations. So, Dugatiya Hetuka Pugala. What are the limitations? No Mahavipakas. So now, Patisandhi, this kamma, no. During Pavati, what can this kamma produce for this Pugala? 8 Ahetuka Kusala Vipaka. Right? 4 Jnana Vipayuta? No. Kamajarupa? No. Finished. This is the only possibility for Dugatiya Hetuka. Sugatiya Hetuka. Pugala. Patisandhi? Okay, wait. What are the limitations? No Jnana Sampayutta Mahavipakas for this Pugala. Okay, so in Patisandhi, here you will have no Patisandhi. Pavati, you have 8 Ahetuka Kusala Vipakas. Kusala Vipakas. Can he have 4 Jnana Vipayuta? Yes. 4 Jnana Vipayuta Mahavipakas. Can he have Kamajarupa? No. No, because Kamajarupa is only to the person who has this Patisandhi, Dvihetuka Patisandhi. Yes. Only the Tihetuka Ukata can produce for the Tihetuka Pugala, no? This is important, no? Okay, Punyakama? Omaka Tihetuka Kamma produces, if it's the Omaka, the weak one, it cannot produce a Tihetuka Patisandhi. It produces a Dvihetuka Patisandhi. Okay? Is this clear? Produces a Dvihetuka Patisandhi. Tihetuka Kamma, if it's a weak Tihetuka Kamma, it produces a Dvihetuka Patisandhi. Okay? Not a Tihetuka Patisandhi. Okay? So the Kamajarupa will only be for this person who has a Dvihetuka Patisandhi. Okay? This Kamajarupa. Not for other beings. Right? The Patisandhi and the Kamajarupa go together, no? Only to that specific being. Okay? So Dugatiya Hetuka doesn't have this Dvihetuka Patisandhi, no Kamajarupa. Sugati ahetuka, ahetuka patisandhi, not dvihetuka, no kamajarupa. Now the next pugala. Dvihetuka pugala. Dvihetuka pugala. What are the limitations of dvihetuka pugala? Thank you. No jnana sampayuta mahavipaka. This you have to memorize. Dvihetuka pugala. So this means that in patisandhi, what can this kamma produce? Patisandhi. This patisandhi, this kamma, you see, this kamma produces this. So patisandhi, dvihetuka patisandhi, you see? This pugala here, dvihetuka pugala. So you have a dvihetuka patisandhi. This is the 4 jnana vipayuta mahavipakas. Okay, and he can also have kamajarupa. Yeah. And in pavati, what can this kamma produce to this pugala? Always 8 ahetuka kusala vipaka. What about jnana vipayuta mahavipakas? Can he have? Yes, he can have jnana vipayuta mahavipakas. Can he have kamajarupa? Yes, from this kamma he can. Okay? Now, tihetuka pugala. Tihetuka pugala. What are the limitations of this tihetuka pugala? No limitations. Remember this? No limitations. So, in patisandhi, what can this kamma produce? Nothing. In pavati, what can this kamma produce? 8 ahetuka kusala vipaka. Okay. Can it produce this? Yes, for jnana vipayuta mahavipaka. Can it produce kamajarupa? No. Okay? You need to know the results of each kamma, and then you need to know the limitations of each pugala. Then you know all this content. Okay?
Mix together.
Yeah. Mixed together. Then you need to know later the bhumi. We already discussed what kamma can produce in each bhumi. So you see many factors. We study them separately, but later you have to put them together.
Three, Bhumi, Pugala, and Kamma.
Bhumi, pugala, the kamma itself. I think that's it, no? Yeah. Okay, no? So this is very useful. This information over here, okay? It's very useful. Because this part it's a little difficult to remember for me. It's a little difficult to retain. Okay. So we have finished tihetuka omaka, no? Now, tihetuka, or you can call ukata tihetuka. Ukata tihetuka kamma. Okay. What can this kamma normally produce? The normal result. What is the normal result? In patisandhi, it can produce tihetuka patisandhi, okay? Punyagama? Tihetuka patisandhi. And what is this tihetuka patisandhi? It's the jnana sampayuta mahavipaka, 4 chittas, one of the 4 chittas. It can also produce kamajarupa for the respective pugala, no? In pavati, what can this kamma produce? Always 8 ahetuka kusala vipaka. And here, 8 mahavipaka and kamajarupas. Okay? This is what this kamma can produce normally without thinking about pugala. Now we have to apply to the pugala according to pugala. Okay, so each pugala has some limitations, right? What is the limitation of dugatiya hetuka pugala? What is the limitation? Yes, no Mahavipaka. No Mahavipakas. So this means that in Patisandhi, this kamma doesn't produce anything for this pugala, you see. In Pavati, what can it produce? 8 kusala vipaka hetuka. Yes, this is always there, right? What about this? 8 Mahavipaka? No Mahavipakas. So nothing. No Kamajarupa is good, okay? Just keep this in mind. Now, Sugati Ahetuka Pugala, the next Pugala. What is the limitation of this Pugala? No Jnana Sampayuta Mahavipaka. Yes, remember this. So, in Patisandhi, can this Kama produce anything? No. What about Pavati? Can this Kama produce something? 8 Kusala Vipaka Hetuka. Can it produce Mahavipakas? Yes, only Jnana Vipayutas. 4 Jnana Vipayutas for this Pugala Mahavipaka. And no Kamajarupa, you see? Finished. You see? So this Kama here, it has the potential to produce all Mahavipakas, but this Pugala cannot experience all of them. Okay? Okay. Dvihetuka? Dvihetuka Pugala. What are the limitations? No Jnana Sampayuta Mahavipakas. Yes. So this Kama, Ukatati Hetuka Kama, does it produce any Patisandhi here? No. What about Pavati? Yes. 8 Ahetuka Kusala Vipaka it can produce. What about the Mahavipakas? Only 4 Jnana Vipayuta Mahavipakas. Right? And no Kamajarupa. Right? Because it's not the Pugala that has the Patisandhi, right? No Kamajarupas. You understand? Why no Kamajarupa? Still no. This Kama, Ukatati Hetuka Kama, what Patisandhi does it produce? What Patisandhi Chitta can it produce? Ukatati Hetuka. Patisandhi Chitta. What is the Patisandhi Chitta? Tihetuka Patisandhi, yes. Tihetuka Patisandhi, right? You understand? Or you're just reading? Because the answer is there on the board, no? But I want to know if you understand. Like, Tihetuka Kamma produces a Tihetuka Patisandhi, but only if it's as Ukata. Okay? Ukata. Look. Tihetuka Kamma, okay? Pay attention to this a moment. Tihetuka Kamma, you can have Ukata, strong one, or Omaka, right? This you understand, no? So the Ukata can produce the Tihetuka Patisandhi, but the Omaka is not strong enough. It will produce Dvihetuka Patisandhi. Okay? This is the thing you have to remember. And then the Kamajarupa, Kamas in general only produce Kamajarupa for the being that it produces Patisandhi for. Do you understand? If this Kama is Ukata, it produces Tihetuka Patisandhi, then this being who has this Tihetuka Patisandhi will also have the Kamajarupa produced by this Kama. Yes, only Ukata. But if this Kama is Omaka, then it will produce a Dvihetuka Patisandhi. Then the Kamajarupa that it produces is only for this Pugala who has this Patisandhi. You don't understand this. Okay, maybe like this. Ukata produces Tihetuka Patisandhi, right? What Pugala is that? Tihetuka Pugala. Okay? So that pugala will have the kamaja rupa, not the other pugalas. Okay? If you have a dvihetuka patisandhi, which pugala are you? Dvihetuka pugala, yes. So the kamaja rupa will only be of the dvihetuka pugala, not of another pugalas. The patisandhi and the kamaja rupa are produced only to that specific pugala. So this kama, ukata tihetuka, ukata, strong tihetuka, it can produce a tihetuka patisandhi. And for the person who has this patisandhi, it will also produce the kamaja rupa. Not for dvihetuka pugala or ahetuka pugala, they will not have kamaja rupa produced by this kama. They will have kamaja rupa produced by their own kama. Right? Only one kama produces the kamaja rupa in a given life. So this dugati ahetuka pugala has kamaja rupa, yes. But which kama produces this dugati ahetuka pugala's kamaja rupa? Which kama produces the kamaja rupa of this pugala? Dugati ahetuka pugala. Ahetuka pugala. Which kama produces kamaja rupa for this pugala? There is no ahetuka kama. No. Which kama produces kamaja rupa? Cannot be a vipaka. Which kama? Must be either kusala or akusala. Yes? Akusala kama produces the kamaja rupa for this pugala, yes. The patisandhi of this pugala is produced by the patisandhi chitta of this dugati ahetuka pugala is produced by which kama? Akusala kama. You're getting behind, yeah? Be careful. Okay? This is what we've been discussing already since last class, what each kama can produce, and now we are applying it to the pugalas. We discussed it also according to Bhumi, no? Okay, try to review it. So the dvihetuka pugala, this kama, tihetuka, ukata, it produces this for this dvihetuka pugala. What about tihetuka pugala? Tihetuka pugala, what is the limitation of this tihetuka pugala? In terms of vipaka, there is no limitation. So in his patisandhi, can a tihetuka ukata kama produce something in his patisandhi? Yes, it will produce a tihetuka patisandhi. Tihetuka patisandhi. These are the four jnana sampayutta mahavipakas. And kamaja-rupa for this pugala only, you see. It produces the patisandhi and the kamaja-rupa. Here, no patisandhi, no kamaja-rupa. In pavati, what can it produce? Always 8 ahetuka kusala vipaka. 8 mahavipakas, right? Because there is no limitation. 8 mahavipaka, there is no limitation. And kamaja-rupa for this pugala. Finished. All the aryas are here as well. Okay? Here we are not thinking about bhumi. Yes, there are some aryas in arupa bhumi, for example, no kamaja-rupa, etc. But here it's not mixed with bhumi, just pugala. Okay? So these were the the kamavachara kusala kammas. Now we have the kusala kammas, rupa vachara, and arupa vachara, and arupa vachara. Here in brief, it's all the same, okay? There is no difference. Yes. Rupa vachara, what does it normally produce? Okay, we don't need to review everything, right? But remember, Rupa Vachara, you have to divide according to 5 jhanas. And then 5 jhanas, you divide them each in 3. Hina, Majjhima, Panita. Right? Hina, Majjhima, Panita. Then each one produces in a certain Brahma realm. Right? Arupa Vachara Kama produces on the Arupa Vachara realm, is the easiest. Right? Akasananchayatana Kusala produces Akasananchayatana Vipaka in the Akasananchayatana realm. Yeah, 3 levels the same. Hina, Majjhima, Panita, all the same. In the same realm, right? But now if we apply this to Pugala, what are the results according to Pugala? According to Pugala, if we think Dugatya Hetuka Pugala, okay, this, of course, the limitations here won't even apply. Dugatya Hetuka Pugala, Patisandhi, nothing. Pavati, nothing. Yeah. These kammas cannot produce anything for this Pugala. Okay? Sugatya Hetuka, Pugala, it's the same. Cannot produce anything. Dvihetuka. Dvihetuka Pugala. Cannot produce any result. Only Tihetuka Pugalas, they can have Patisandhi. Yes, they can have their respective Patisandhi. Yes, the same. Here we can put the same. I will not repeat everything, right? Because it's a lot of things, right? But it will produce the jhana chittas as vipaka, right? Okay. And then during Pavati, here it can also produce Kamaja Rupa. Okay, Kamaja Rupa, if you're not in Arupa, okay, this is Rupa. Rupa, not Arupa. But in Pavati, it will produce also the same, the jhana chitta. Same jhana chitta. Same jhana chitta and Kamaja Rupa. In the Rupa only, if it's Rupa, no? So it makes no difference. If you know the vipakas of these kammas, then it makes no difference the Pugala. Okay? So that's it, this section. Let's continue. There is a lot of content. Okay, now Marana. What time is it? Oh, now it's our break time, no? Now let's discuss death. 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 Marana. Okay, what is Marana? Death, right? Death. Death. Or what about dead? Also as an adjective, dead. What is death? This is the vanishing of the chuti chitta, okay? So dead is when there is no chitta anymore, no chitta. So this is after chuti. We call the person dead. Okay, when there is no chitta, except of course in the asanyasata. Asanyasata, they have no chitta but they are not dead. Or in Nirodha Samapati. Nirodha Samapati. They also have no chitta but they are not dead, right? So we have 4 types of marana. 4 types. 4 types of marana. Okay? One is actually two that becomes 4, okay? We can call kala marana and akala marana. Kala and akala marana. Okay, maybe I'll put it here. Kala marana, we have 3. 1, 2, 3. Kala marana, we have ayukaya. marana. We have kamma, kaya, marana. And then we have ubhaya, kaya, marana. And then akala marana, we only have upachedaka. Actually, we have here many types. We have here 11 types, okay? 11 types. 11 types. Okay. Let's do ayukala marana. Ayu kaya. Kaya, remember this word kaya? Tanhakaya. Asavakaya. Yeah, the extinction or vanishing or maybe exhaustion. Exhaustion, I think, is a good word. Exhaustion. Okay, this is a U. Exhaustion. Exhaustion of the ayu. Ayu. Kaya. What is this ayu? Ayu. You have nama and rupa jivitindriya. Okay? Nama and rupa jivitindriya. And then we have something called the ayu. Sorry, I keep writing aya. Ayu kala. What is ayu kala? Ayu kala is the lifespan. The lifespan that varies, no? The ayu varies, the lifespan. Okay? So now, for example, it's 74 years, right, Bante? Yeah. 74, no? Yeah. Around that, no? So, ayu kala. We have already discussed the lifespan of each living being. So, when this lifespan comes to an end, then you may die. Right? So when the lifespan is exhausted, then this type of death is called ayukaya marana. For example, imagine this is your life. Okay? This is your life. Okay? Now, this life is produced by some kamma. Produced by kamma. Okay? That kamma, depending on the quality of the kamma, it may have the capacity, the power, to produce a long life. Okay? The life produced by the kamma. This is what the kamma can produce. Okay? But the ayu in which you are born is less than that. Ayu. Ayu kala is less. So even though your kamma could produce a long life, it is limited by the ayu kala. You understand? So this will limit this, you see? It will limit that kamma. Okay? Because this ayu kala, the lifespan, is limited during that period. So even if your kamma is very high and could produce a longer life, it is limited by this, you see? It is limited by this. 160. Yes, 160. They can live more than the ayu kala. Sometimes if you have a good kamma, you can live more than the ayu kala. And this idhi helps. Idhi and medicine. Idhi and medicine is able to push this a little further. And present conditions, okay? But you cannot go beyond this. Going beyond this is not possible.
What beyond?
Beyond means more, right? More than the kamma, it's not possible to go. You cannot extend that. You cannot extend the amount of life a kamma can produce. You understand? For example, we'll discuss in Kammakaya Marana, if your ayu is very long, but your kama is short, what is produced by the kama, then this you cannot extend. You understand? You will die over here. Okay? So this one is a death that occurs because the ayukala is exhausted. The ayukala has finished, you see? So here death occurs. Death. This death is called ayukaya marana. Okay? Because the ayu is finished, not because the kama is finished. Okay? So this is like this. Imagine an oil lamp, right? You have a wick, and then you have the flame. Okay? So you have the wick. The wick is one thing, and the oil is another thing, right? Okay? So you can say the wick is the ayu. If you consider the wick the ayu, if the wick finishes, burns out, the fire will get extinguished, right? Do you understand? So the fire will be extinguished either if the wick ends is exhausted, is burned out, or if the oil is burnt out, right? So it's the same with either ayu or kamma, these two factors, okay? So in this case, it's like the wick of the candle is burnt out. Then the fire is extinguished. The fire of life. Let's consider here the fire of life. Okay?
But this example is for the power of some person who live very long life,
More than ayukala, yes. Ayukala? More than the ayukala? Yeah. We can live a bit more than the ayukala. Yes. So this depends on three factors. Three factors here that influence this is your parents' bodies and virtues. Okay, this affects how long you're going to live. Your parents' bodies and virtues. Then the food that you eat, food consumed. So you should eat healthy food, okay? Or the weather conditions also affect how long you're going to live. Okay? Three factors.
But this,
Hmm?
I didn't see it mentioned like
This?
only this we can think is true, but the book I didn't see.
Not in the book? I have it in my notes. Maybe it's extra information. I don't know.
I only remember we only explain very short.
Very short.
Because of the karma like this, punya like this, we can live.
Punya?
Punya.
This one is not because of punya. For example, the bodhisattva. Okay? Bodhisattva, his karma, the karma that produces his last life, could produce a very long life. Okay? The karma itself has this potential to produce a very long life. But the bodhisattva was born in a period where you live about 100 years. So he will live about 100 years, you understand? The limitation is the ayu in this case. Ayu ends the life. Not because the karma is exhausted.
But I only heard about it. Can they never become the double of the
Double of the ayu?
Yeah,
Never.
yeah, never.
Okay.
Only like one.
Yeah, you can go a bit more.
Yes, like that. Buddha time
Yes.
only 100 like this. Can some Thera live in 160?
160, no?
Yes, but can never 200.
Cannot go to 200.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this I didn't know. But I heard Buddhas, they normally live 4/5 of the ayu kala. Normally they live this. But if they want, they can live 5/5, yes, or even 6/5. This is possible. This is the normal, and it's possible that they extend their life to this much, you see? Lifespan of Buddhas, yes. They live about 4/5 of the Ayukala of the time they are born. So, for example, Buddha's time, the Ayukala was 100 years. So, normally Buddhas live 4/5, so 80 years. That's what he lived. Five or six, because there is he says that Idipadas, yes, Idipadas and Bhesaja. In this case, Idipadas. The Buddha said he could have lived the whole lifespan or a bit more. The whole kappa is the Ayu kappa, not the whole kappa means until the end of the world, okay? Ideas?
There are two ideas.
Ah. Yeah, it's the Ayu kappa, no? Ayu kappa. But yeah, maybe there are some different ideas. This I don't know. But this is the information I have based on the Ayu kappa. His karma could produce much longer for sure. No? The karma itself was a very good quality metta karma. No? Metta karma.
But some person.
What?
I heard some story when they go Jatu Maharajika realm, and then they come back. All the people, the same age, already died because.
Yes.
Yeah, because more than 700 years.
Because in the Chat Maharajika, the time passes very differently, no?
Yes, when they come back to Manusa.
They stay one day over there, 50 years have passed.
Yeah. But
Yes.
they stay and
So there are some stories like that?
yeah.
Ah. Pedavatu? I remember one that he went to that woman, no? He thought it was 1 week or something like that, right?
Husband in the
Chat Maharajika?
Yeah.
Was not a pitta?
No. Husband.
Isn't that a type of Vimanika? Vimanika. Like Yama, no? Sometimes they are suffering, sometimes they are happy.
See that husband in the Jatu Maharajika. Let's see the Manusa.
Yeah, it should be like that, right? For example, the Abhidhamma, when the Buddha taught the Abhidhamma, he gave the Dhamma talk, finished, but it was 3 months for us in the human realm, right? So there is this time difference. No? It was 9 minutes over there, but here it was 3 months, something like that. No? So there is this time difference, yeah. Okay. So this is the Ayukaya Marana, okay? Ayukaya Marana. You die not because your karma is exhausted, but because the lifespan has come to an end. And this lifespan limits your life. Okay? Then we have the Kamma Kaya. Kamma Kaya. Kamma Kaya Marana. Kamma Kaya Marana. This one, your Patisandhi Kamma, this is the Patisandhi Kamma. So let's say you have your Kamma or your Ayu can be this much. For example, nowadays 74 years, about 74 years. But your Kamma, the Kamma that produces your Patisandhi, is not strong enough. Okay? Then it's like the lamp. It's like the lamp. The wick remains, but the oil is exhausted. Okay? So the fire is extinguished because the oil is exhausted. The oil is finished. It will stop burning, right? So here your Kamma limits your life. So because the Kamma came to an end and here it causes the death, it's called Kamma Kaya. The Kamma is exhausted, not the Ayu. For example, now 70 something years, 74, but if the Kamma is not strong enough, maybe you will just live 50 years, for example, right? Maybe 40 years, maybe 30 years, we don't know, right? Maybe tomorrow, right? Yes, so this is the Kamma Kaya Marana, okay? Now, here one important point is that this Kamma is not killing you. Okay? The Kamma is not killing you, it's just that the force of the Kamma came to an end and then you die because of that. It's not that Kamma is killing you. That's another function, Upachedaka. Upachedaka Kamma, right? So here, note, the Kamma is exhausted.
But some Parita can make the Ayu.
It
Continue the Ayu.
does not. Parita?
Yes.
It does not.
Some people not more.
This I never heard, Bante. It does not kill you. It does not kill you. Do you understand this point? The Kamma is not killing you. It's just you die because it's exhausted. Okay? Which one? Ayuvardhana?
Yes, he went inside the Parika and he can live, continue.
Can live a little longer?
Yes. If not recite the Parika, he will die.
He would die.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes. Around 7 days.
Yeah. Okay, nice. So we could add over here, for example, ED medicine can kind of push this more, you see? ED medicine plus Parita. No? And these things also affect, okay? Your parents' bodies, the food you consume, and the weather at that time, where you're living, and so on. Okay, so Kamma Kaya Marana is this. You die because of the exhaustion of your Patisandhi Kamma. Now we have Ubhaya. Ubhaya Kaya Marana. Okay, this one, now I have no mic. No mic. Ubhaya Kaya Marana, both. Both at the same time. This is quite rare. Okay? You have the Ayu, a certain Ayu, let's say 100 years, and then your Kamma also produces 100 years. Okay? And then here you die, you see? Thank you. You see, both of them end at the same time. It's a bit rare. Okay? It's a bit rare. So this is like the...
Most in the Deva girl like this.
In Devas? Is it?
Because that dream is very good everything. The body, the food.
It's good, no?
Yeah, it's very good super food.
Yes, superfood, yes. Okay, simple, no? Both end at the same time. Okay? Both end at the same time. Then we have now Akala Marana. Akala Marana. Okay, Akala Marana. Akala Marana, we have 11 types. 11 types. Let's go. 11 types. 4 types is Abadha. Abadha. Then Abadha opens in 4. Vata, Samuttana, Abadha. Disease attributed to wind. Vata, Pitta, Simha, and Sannipatika. Pitta, Simha. Samuttana Abadha, and then Abadha. Okay? These 4 types of diseases. Diseases are many types of diseases, no? But here it's classified under these elements. Vata, Pitta, Simha, or all together, Sannipatika. Okay? Then we have here other things. Uttu Parinama. I think this is a long... Uttuparinama, this is, for example, floods, fires, earthquakes, etc. Okay? Floods, fires. Okay, Uttuparinama. Then we have Visama Parihara. Visama Parihara is not, Visama is like uneven or, right? This is reckless behavior, okay? Reckless, can say in English maybe, reckless or dangerous behavior. Huh? You like to jump from roofs and do stuff like that, climb mountains without any security, or you jumping from planes and stuff like that, right? Some dangerous things dangerous activities, no? So you may die because of that dangerous activity, not because of your karma. Some people do very foolish things, no? Jumping from high place, stuff like that, right? So then because of this reckless behaviors, it may cause your death. Yeah. Then at that time, it's because of this reckless behavior, it's not necessarily because of a karma. Okay? Sannipatika. Okay. Uttuparinama, Visama Parihara. And then Visama Parihara. And then Upakama. Upakama is some type of effort. For example, Attanopakama. Attanopakama means, for example, you kill yourself. We call this suicide. Suicide. You kill yourself. It's a type of your own effort to die. Or Parupakama. Someone else kills you. Murder. You know this word? Murder. Murder. Right? Teruban saranai. Murder. Right? Another cause of death. Murder. Somebody else kills you. Somebody else kills you. Okay? Para upakama. Then we have already here 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the 8th is kama vipaka. Kama vipaka, okay, which can be kusala or akusala. Even kusala kama can kill you sometimes, right? Normally we talk about in terms of akusala, right? Normally it's akusala that kills you, but kusala kama can also kill in some situations. For example, in Niraya, right? When you're talking to the King Yama asks about what are the 4 duta? What is the name? Duta, no? Devadutas, right? Yes. So then if that living being remembers doing some type of kusala kama, then that kama may get the ladhokasa, the chance to give result, and it may cause your death and produce a rebirth on the sugati.
They die and then birth and then die again, right?
No. They are in apaya. Then they remember some kusala kama they did. Then, if that is strong enough, it can cause their death, upachedaka function, and produce the janaka function, producing the next patisandhi. So it kills you in hell, and it brings you to sugati.
This kusala kill, I think only like the different type of the patisandhi of that chitta.
Different type of patisandhi maybe only to ahetuka dugati ahetuka.
Yeah, dugati, not patisandhi by the kusala. So
Probably yes. The only example I know of is this one, yes, for dugati. Yeah, it's true.
Deva never.
Deva, I don't think a kusala kama will kill you, yes.
Even human also.
Human, I also think no kusala kama will kill you, right? Yeah, I haven't seen any examples. Only this example of hell.
Yeah, because the Nidya is
Yes,
not born by the kusala kama.
yes. Then it's the akusala kama doing the upachedaka. Devadatta's case is an example of the akusala kama, this kama vipaka. He died because of this. Yes. Then that is upachedaka. So this kama vipaka we can call upachedaka, no? Upachedaka. Upachedaka. Remember the functions of kama? Janaka, upatambaka, upapilaka, and upachedaka. No? Okay. Okay, no? Now let's discuss the nimittas. Now we come to the process of dying, the nimittas. So these are marana, asanna, nimittas. Marana, asana, nimittas. Asana is like near, right? Close. Death. Nimitta signs. So we have 3 nimittas, basic nimittas. We have kamma, kamma nimitta, and gati nimitta. Okay. So kamma is the action itself. So this refers to the chittupada with chetana as the main factor, okay? With chetana as main factor. Okay? This means the Chittapada with Chetana as main factor that arise or that arose when accumulating the Patisandhi Kamma, the Kamma that will produce the Patisandhi, okay? The action. So for example, Kamma is the action itself. So one of the signs before death, there will be a last mental process that will take one of these three objects, right? The last mental process before death. Chuti is the Chuti Chitta, right? Death. Let's say life ends with the passing of Chuti. So here before the Chuti, we have this Marana, Asanna, Viti. Mental process. Viti. Mental process. Okay? This mental process can be of several kinds. There is, I think, 24 types of Maranasana Viti. Okay? But it's this mental process that happens before death. Okay? Then the object of this is one of the three signs. Okay? One of these three signs. Now, this first sign, the Kamma, is when you take that Maranasana Viti, take the Chittupada with Chetana as the main factor that occurred in the past. Normally it occurs in the past, and it's like remembering doing the action. Okay? So the object at that time is the whole mind, Chittupada, with Chetana as the main factor. Chetana is the Kamma, right? So Kamma, Chetana. You remember that Chetana before death. For example, you made a dana. Okay? Then before death, if that Kamma has priority, then in your Maranasana Vitis, you may have this Chetana that occurred in the past as your object. Do you understand? You remember doing that action of giving as if you were doing it before death. Okay? In your mind, of course. Okay? This is one object, Kamma. Kamma Nimitta, you have two types. Aramana or the Karana. Aramana is one of the objects related to that action. They are all related to the action. Okay, Gati Nimitta, well, not as much, right? So object is the object, for example, you offered. If you made a donation, for example, a flower, you made a donation, then in your Maranasana Viti, you may remember the action itself, or you may remember the flower you gave. Okay? So it's the object related to that Kamma. For example, if it's a donation, it will be maybe the object you gave. Or even the recipient himself, the person who received, for example, can be object. For example, the Chetya. If you offer a flower to the Chetya, maybe it will be the Chetya itself as the Aramana. Okay? Aramana means under Kamma Nimitta. Okay? It's a type of Kamma Nimitta, a sign of the Kamma. Okay? Or it can be something you use to perform that Kamma. Yes, something you use to perform that Kamma. Then the Karana. Okay? So it's the instrument to perform the Kamma, the object related to the Kamma. You have more details in my notes, I've sent it to you. Karana is the instrument. Used to perform the Kamma. Okay? So even in, for example, let's say in akusala karmas also is the same. For example, you killed with an arrow. Then in your maranasana, you may remember this action of killing, doing the action, the chetana. The chetana might be your object, or it can be the animal, aramana. Or it can be the instrument, the arrow or the bow, or the knife, or the gun, right? Or the poison, whatever it is. Stick. Danda? Yes.
Mostly they see the people close to die around 7 days. They will see.
They see, yeah. Up to 7 days it can appear. Yes. So this object here can appear up to 7 days before death. It's not only in the Maranasana. Even 7 days before you may start getting this object. Yes.
Like my mother before she died, she many children.
Many children.
Yeah, I think she was a
Human.
Ketika
She saw many children.
children,
Yeah, I don't know what could
before that,
children be.
before she died,
Before she died, she saw many children.
yeah, children.
Interesting. Maybe she helped children, maybe could be something she did.
Sit on the fan, like this.
On the?
Fan.
Fan.
Yes.
What is a fan?
Fan.
Fence? Fan? Fan like
No, because children sit on the fan like this many.
So I don't understand. What do you mean? Sit on the fan.
Sitting on
What is this? Fan. What does he mean by fan? Fan?
Like this fan.
Yes, but the fan like in my yes.
Like sitting under the fan?
Yes.
Under or on?
On
On the fan.
because the fan over, So she saw like this.
Yeah.
Many children like this.
So then many children could be, for example, it's not the karma itself, but it could be the object of some karma. For example, she helped many children, for example. Could be something like that. She helped many children.
Sometimes I think get it.
Could be gati. Usually for human gati is the womb, red.
Oh yeah.
You see some red, something red. Like a red womb, like a red carpet. Normally for this, but it can be different. Normally for devas is like divine mansions or things like that, you know? Divine objects. Sometimes you can see devas themselves.
Yes. I know one grandmother.
Yeah.
She very old.
Mm.
Before she died, I go to his house, her house, and then she see many the vimana.
Oh, many vimana.
Vimana.
Yeah.
Vimana very beautiful.
Ah, good. Yeah.
Yes, and very beautiful vimana, and she
Good.
talk every day to her son.
Ah, and she tells,
Yes.
she told her son about it.
Yeah, all like that, and bring me go to that vimana.
Ah,
Every day like this, and then I come, see.
and then she passed away.
Request, teach me, give the Upasathaksila.
Ah, nice.
Yes,
Oh, very good, huh?
yes, but see that time, 96,
Wow,
96.
96.
But she still listen very,
Very good. Yeah, very nice. So even up to 7 days you may see this object, okay? So if it happens to you, don't be confused.
Three nimitta.
So when it happens to you, you should identify, is this kamma nimitta or is this gati nimitta?
yeah.
Okay? Up to 7 days before death, okay? So if you see, for example, here there is one story. For example, if you see a bad object, then you can change your mind with this knowledge of Abhidhamma. You can change, right? For example, the Bodhisattva, he was an ascetic. On one certain life, he was an ascetic, and he practiced some wrong Dhamma, right? He was one of those, what is the name? Forgot the name. So he was he was practicing something wrong, okay? Then he practiced very diligently. And then near death, it was Dukkaracharya, something like Dukkaracharya, okay? Maybe hurting, oppressing the body or somehow. Then before death, he started seeing the fires of hell. That's usually the Gati Nimitta for hell, fire. Or you may see the guardians of hell coming for you, for example. Or hounds, you know hounds? Hounds. Yeah, it's like a huge dog. Hound. Hound with the D, okay? Hounds. So you may see the hounds of hell coming for you. Yeah, hounds, okay? So anyway, he saw this fire and then he understood. Oh, my practice is producing a bad result. He understood. Luckily, he understood. Then he understood, okay, this is the wrong practice. Then he changed before death, and then Sugati, he went to Sugati. So he was able to change, you see. So the nimitta appears even up to 7 days before death, sometimes not that early, but if you can change it with some knowledge of this karma, you're able to change. Sonatera. Many dogs bite, yeah, you see, the type of hounds and stuff. Yes. Yes. So for example, if someone is dying or yourself you're dying, then you can try to help change the situation, change the person's mind, and change the environment to help change their mind, to help improve, to get a good object.
If they don't like Buddha Sasana,
if they don't like Buddha Sasana, then you still something kusala, but not necessarily sasana. Okay? For example, giving something, or donation, or some type of sila, even though it's not Buddha Sasana, for example.
Some people really don't like some like.
Yeah, if you have to consider. You have to consider, for example, if by chanting Samparita or trying to give precepts or something like that, you think they will dislike that, then it's better not to do it. Otherwise, it can be even worse. So just try to get as close to the wholesome as possible. Remembering good things they have done, especially kusala. Most people have done to some extent something, some type of charity, some type of donation, or some type of precept, or some type of good action, right? Maybe some meditation. Many people can meditate, even if they don't believe in karma. I think they can meditate, for example. So doing metta meditation, for example, I think almost anyone can do that. It will not be successful, but that's already kusala karma that can change their mind, at that time. Or anapana, for example, very neutral objects, anyone can do. To be successful, you must believe in karma. That's a condition to be successful in samatha. But they can still develop it, or at least get a wholesome mind, right?
Like one Therapy, their opinion is
He had a binya?
Yeah, he have a binya. And then give the sadness when close. One person he close to die.
Ah.
But he never did the kusala karma.
Yeah.
Yes, but close to die, then he know that this today he will die.
Ah.
He will die. Then
The Thera knows.
Yeah, Thera know. And then go and stand
In front of his house.
his house.
Mm-hmm.
And then go and then his wife go
Yeah.
to ask Thera, why you stand here?
Yeah.
I know give the Padipata for you.
Yes.
You can go away.
Yes.
But Thera not go. Yes, and then Thera go, I not go for Padipata. I go to see him.
Ah.
Yes, because he whole life he
Only kill the.
animal.
Oh.
Yes. But that time Thera go to and close his bed.
Yes.
And saving him a little bit.
Yes.
Yes, and then encourage him, give the sarana.
Sarana.
Yes, but then after Buddham Sarana, they time it until the 3 times.
3 times.
And then his tongue cannot say.
Cannot.
Yes, cannot until the sila. And then he died.
Only Sarana.
Yeah, only sarana, and then he died, become Jatuh Maharajika.
Chat Maharajika Samdeva.
But very power.
Ah.
Yeah, just give the
Because of the Sarana.
yeah, sarana.
Yeah, he died with that
Yes, and then he
Kamma of Sarana.
yeah, with Kamma, I will born in the Deva, very
Yes,
powerful
yes, yes.
life. And then he looked again, see that, oh, this Kamma very,
Yes.
very powerful.
Yes, 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 yes. Very good. See? Okay, just to conclude. So, Kamma Gati Nimitta is a sign, maybe it's a sign of the destination. A sign of the destination. So then here for destination, I've seen for Niraya, usually is the fires of hell, okay? These are Gati Nimittas. These are just some Gati Nimittas, okay? Don't think it's all the possibilities. So for Niraya, it's usually something like fires of hell, or the hounds, animals coming to bite you and take you, or the hell guardians or guards, hell guards coming to take you. For animal, you may see, for example, forests. For example, for a human, you may see the womb, like a red carpet, It's like a reddish thing. Human womb. If it's a deva, then you may see pitta. Wait, let me put in order. Pitta. As a pitta, you may see like pitta cities, you know, pitta villages. Yes. And as devas, huh?
How this thing is how we combine Peta village and human village.
Human village and Peta village? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the Petas are usually quite ugly, no? Devas mentions, for example, that's it. And then Brahmas and so on, they will see just their Kamatana, right? So I think for Brahmas, I don't know. Brahmas, I don't know. But I think it's their Patibhaganimitta. They are Patibhaganimitta. They are Kamatana. Okay?
My grandfather see like this, have called his mother, wait for him. Yes, mother wait me like this. She said like this.
He was talking before dying.
Yeah, before that.
He was
Before that one day, yes, I close.
he was talking to his mother,
Yes, talking his mother and she
but his mother had already passed away.
passed away a long time.
Yeah.
But he called mother with me like this 3 times.
Ah.
I sleep. He only say 3 times.
Wait for me.
Wait for me. Mother, wait for me. 3 times.
Yeah, I don't know. I think not everything that a person may say or a person may think is one of these three objects, right? So it's a bit difficult to identify. A bit difficult to identify whether he was just thinking about his mother or if it was actually some type of nimitta. It's a little difficult to decide. You know, maybe it could be one of these nimittas, or maybe not. Maybe just his thoughts, right? So it's a little difficult to decide. But with this knowledge, you can, to some extent, control this process and help another person and help yourself. If you're dying, you should try to have a good nimitta, no? Don't accept the bad nimitta. Why? Because the mind will take some nimitta. Only arahants will not take any nimitta because of the bhavaraga. Because of bhavaraga, we have attachment to existence. Your mind will hold on to something before death. Okay, it's impossible to avoid that.
Find something to attach.
Yeah, it will find something to hold on to. Yes. And if it's a bad object, then it will lead to a bad rebirth. No? So with this knowledge, we can, to some extent, control that or influence that, no? On a good way. Right? And you can do that for others. So if they're dying, they should try to have a peaceful mind, try to make some merit before dying. For example, remember, the priority for giving results, the Garuka Kamma, or then the Asana Kamma, and the Achinna Kamma, and then the Katata Kamma. So doing some merit before dying is very good, and that's it, no? Trying to help lead the person to a better rebirth, no? Okay, so we could not finish yet. This is a long chapter. We still need another class. Yeah. It's a long chapter, yes. Even I tried to go a bit quickly, but cannot finish. So maybe one more Saturday, okay?
More, I think, we go another week.
Yeah. Yeah, one more. So now I stopped saying one more. I don't know if it's one more or not. Okay, let's finish. Buddha sasanam chirantitthatu, Buddha sasanam chirantitthatu, Buddha sasanam chirantitthatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.